Hi Tom, let's get stuck in and correct your pollution essay. So, the issue surrounding pollution in cities, so we don't need this, has grown in importance due to the resulting environmental problems such as climate change, smog and ozone depletion. So we don't need this comma, we could just say, although there are several reasons for this alarming trend, some effective measures may be taken by governments to tackle this problem. One thing that's good to do in your introduction is to highlight the main ideas that you will use in your body paragraphs. So here you're talking about improvements to infrastructure, and here you're talking about population growth. So here in this sentence we could say, although there are several reasons for this alarming trend, such as rapid population growth, some effective measures may be taken by governments to tackle this problem, including improvements to infrastructure. Your reader should know what is to come. Nothing should surprise them. So here we're going to discuss two reasons. Good. So there are two main reasons why pollution, we don't need this, in major cities has worsened. Worsened encompasses all of this. Firstly, populations have grown rapidly, resulting in overcrowded cities. Here I would condense these and say many people migrate to cities seeking the opportunity of a better lifestyle. And then all of that is in one. As a result, the amount of waste and pollutants produced in cities increases and leads to further issues such as land contamination. Secondly, the majority of large cities are heavily industrialized, and many maybe we use a semicolon here. So secondly, the majority of large cities are heavily industrialized, semicolon. Many factories and coal plants are located on the outskirts of large cities, which generate contaminants such as carbon monoxide, a key element in the depletion of the ozone layer. Carbon monoxide, by the way, is a key factor in global warming, but it does not cause ozone depletion. Chlorine monoxide causes ozone depletion, but that's the only monoxide compound that does. The ozone layer is depleted, or O3 is separated and disbanded, upon contact with chlorofluorocarbons or other halogenated substances. But carbon monoxide is a greenhouse gas, not an ozone depleting gas. Just a chemistry note for you there. Therefore, increases to population size as well as industrialization are the primary factors or the primary causative factors relating to pollution. In order to solve these problems, governments, plural, could take the following actions. And then we should use a semicolon here again, actually. Firstly, infrastructure and facilities could be improved in regional towns to provide people with a better lifestyle. So I'm talking about switching to active voice. Subject first, infrastructure and facilities could be improved in regional towns to provide people with a better lifestyle. Okay, so okay. What we could say here, this measure prevents some people from moving away to larger cities, as well as incentivizing others to migrate to, let's say, the smaller areas, or the rural areas, or the smaller towns. Another measure could be to research renewable energy solutions to minimize the production of pollutants. Around 80% of electricity globally is still generated by coal plants, which contribute significant quantities of carbon monoxide. Okay, so we should say which contributes significantly to the production of carbon monoxide. Thus, swiftly implementing alternative methods to generate cleaner electricity may resolve a number of problems associated with pollution in cities. In conclusion, it is true that pollution is one of the most controversial issues in our society. However, levels of pollution in larger cities can be reduced if governments increase efforts and focus on improving the infrastructure of regional cities and developing sources of cleaner energy. So we're really getting there with your work now. All I really had to do was move a couple of words around and condense one or two sentences. Very good progress, Tom. So here I would rephrase this first sentence and say, the bar chart illustrates the number of new and second-hand cars sold by the Home Valley Car Group in 6 different villages, namely Meltham, Slough, Holmfirth, Netherton, Netherthong, Upperthong and Longley Farm in 2013. Otherwise, good. Overall, it is clear that all 6 towns sold more used cars than new. Wait one sec, what does this say? Is it really the same proportion? I'd be careful with this statement. It's not very clear, and I'm not sure it's very accurate. So furthermore, Holmfirth made the most sales for both new and used cars. Old cars is a little bit... We should really say second-hand cars or used cars. With a total of 1,194, while Netherton contributed the lowest number of car sales, at only 215 in total. Of all the towns, Holmfirth sold the highest number, not the most number, the highest number, of new cars at 650, followed by Meltham and Upperthong at 611 and 501 respectively. Excellent. Netherton had the lowest sales record at 95 cars, while the other 3 towns sold between 177 and 232 cars. So this comma here is not necessary, and this is while the other 3 towns sold between, but otherwise good. For second-hand car sales, a similar trend was demonstrated or was seen in all 6 provinces. Holmfirth sold the highest number of cars at 650, followed by Meltham at 611 and Upperthorne at 501 cars. Netherton sold the least number of used cars at 120, while the remaining three towns managed to sell somewhere in the range of 215 and 300 vehicles. Good. I would say my only tip here would be to it seems like you're trying very hard to include the comparisons. I think you should definitely include comparisons, but I think you should put more focus on being as precise as possible with the data. To rid of as well is not formal enough for these writing tasks. When we strive very, very hard to make comparisons, sometimes we make irrelevant comparisons. We just try too hard to use things like while and although, when actually they're not quite, they don't deserve to be compared. But you've got a good structure here. You've got overall new cars, second-hand cars. That is a good structure. You have a good flow. I think, Tom, you are looking at a 7 or above in IELTS this time round. Do let me know how it goes. Let me know actually when your exam is as well, and if you need any further help before it. But I'll send this over to you now. All the best. Speak soon, pal.